you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Good seeing you again.
Yes, good seeing you. So, I do want to start by saying thank you for allowing me your time and the experience for my major. I think it's really important, so I really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Uh,
And I also want to start 12 years in the NFL, several teams. Now you're out here playing golf, retiring. How are you feeling? Like, 12 years is not easy and it's not common. So, how are you feeling about that?
I feel pretty good. My body has it, has its days better than others, but with that 12 years, there was some physical, injuries and ailments, and just so my body's kind of, you know, in repair mode right now, and that comes with like untangling a lot of the trauma that I've put it through. So it's going to take a little while, but I'm on the path, and so I'm looking forward to start feeling better consistently.
So, you're doing
But
like physical therapy and things?
it's not physical therapy. It's just working out with a trainer at the gym, and we don't touch any weights. We do just a lot of flexibility things and just strengthening, just using body weight. So a lot of things that I've just played through over the years, and that are now starting to kind of come back and haunt me a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I also know that you are super financially literate. We talk about it a lot. Doc has mentioned it to me a numerous amount of times. I wanted to ask, was this something that you were taught growing up, or was it something you had learned through your experiences when you were older?
No, I definitely wasn't taught. Well, let me take that back. So I think everyone's taught um, something about money. Um, Sometimes it's not, in a positive way. So I was taught something about money. It wasn't how to save it or how to invest it or how to acquire it. Um, so, it was me and my mom. Um, we were, lower middle class, just getting by. She worked a lot. And I think what that kind of showed me was that you have to work hard for money and it's still not going to be enough. Like, just as she didn't purposely teach me that, but that's kind of what my experience was and what I could glean from it. So there was no formal education or a class or a parent or grandparent that taught me anything, as far as how to do any of those things with money. So unfortunately, I had a bad, not a bad, but a not, shouldn't say, it wasn't very constructive as I became an adult, or helpful, not having those really important tools. So, um, but I did learn them and still learning. It's an ongoing process. You never know enough about finances.
So, coming from not knowing for sure what to do with your money, how did you really spin your first NFL check? Were you just like, let's blow it, or?
That's a great question. So, yeah, I kind of had that let's blow it. Like, I don't think I purposely meant to, but without having the education or the tools to be able to know where to put a certain percentage of my check, how much to set aside for living expenses, emergencies, and that investing. Without that guidance or tools, in my belt, I was literally just left there with. I remember depositing my check and not knowing what to do with it, and I've never like seen that much money on a check, or I've had it in my possession. So it was really proud moment. I was very happy, but I also was a bit like terrified and
Yeah.
afraid to do anything with it because I didn't want to mess it up or make it go away. And I still made financial decision mistakes. You
Yeah.
know, even even now I still do, but I'm so much more um, in tune to how certain things work in finances and budgeting and saving and investing especially. So I kind of just learned the hard way and was I learned formally as well.
We can see, like, with all your experience, how you take that and put it into the youth with your programs for aiding people who aren't from wealthier backgrounds, and simply like your um you have meditation. I thought that was really interesting. Is it hard teaching other people about like money and your, especially since they're younger, the meditation and the focus behind all that?
It's not hard. I keep them separate. So I wouldn't go into the same school and try to help them with meditation and
Yeah.
financial literacy. That would have to be two totally separate
Hmm.
kind of me's, I guess, to say. Um, it's not hard at all. Actually, teaching the youth meditation is a lot easier when they're that young than it is
Really?
adults. Um, they're just much more open. They don't have as many blocks or ideas about it that an adult typically does.
And they
So it,
focus for it?
yeah, yeah. You just keep it short. You just 20 minutes or so, and
Okay.
they know what you're there for. And not every single one of them is like tuned in, locked in, but um, you have their attention. And it depends on the school and the situation. They come right in from recess. They're going to be a little energetic. So just got to have an idea and plan for that. But I love doing it.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. The kids are great with it. They love using just breathing. It's like, I mean, I guess you can call it meditation, but it's really just acknowledging and being mindful of your breath and using that in a lot of these schools. These kids are going through traumatic home environments. So having your breath to go to is, you don't need to have money to take a deep breath. You don't need to have any kind of certain situation or even a room. You could be homeless, and still um, utilize the power of your breath and be mindful of it. So um, they use it. They definitely use it. I just hope that it sticks with them through life as they get older.
I know that you have kids of your own. Are you still instilling these type of things for them as well as the other kid?
Oh, I try to. I think the kids that are in schools, they listen to me a lot more than my kids do. Um, yeah, they're off and on meditators. My youngest, he has been meditating since he was very young, and then just kind of just fell away as a habit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, I'm not a big, hey, we're all meditating and we're all going to meditate. I think as long as we can bring just some kind of a mindfulness to ourselves and just understand the power that we have with our breath. Um, if they can grow up understanding that, that's, I think, a really helpful tool to help them in a lot of issues throughout life.
How did you really get into the whole meditation thing from being a football player to really financially literate, now meditation? What really, how did that start?
Yeah, it was. I was going through a rough patch in my life. I was going through a divorce and was moving around a lot. I was playing with a new team here in Charlotte for the Charlotte Carolina Panthers, and I had a lot of stress going on. Was very stressed, overwhelmed to the point where it was affecting my job, my my play, my productivity. So I went and saw a uh, meditation teacher, and he taught me some skills, um, moving forward that just helped me not only off the field, but has helped me tremendously on the field. Um, like in the middle of a play, just being able to be mindful and encounter experience my breathing in a different way than panting or holding my breath, just really feeling it in and out. So and my brain just works. It works faster. So at my position, we're kind of like quarterbacks. So we have to be mindful of a lot of different things
Yeah.
and to just kind of keep in tune when it's hot and there's pressure and you're tired, you're exhausted or whatever, to really kind of come back and be centered to be able to produce and do what you're your body has been trained to do through practice. So it's got a tremendous amount of benefits. I think my kids will use it. I think because they hear us all the time talking about it and doing it. Um, but it's different coming from mom or dad than from someone at school. So
Yeah. And it's insightful for hear you say like using meditation for not just like people talk about calming down or just more of a therapeutic approach, but you applying it to an athletic approach kind of just blew my mind a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That was really nice. You
yeah,
did
that's.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's an area where a lot of us. That's why I don't like saying meditation because immediately people think, oh, sitting somewhere quiet or in the dark or the environment's got to be right. When that's not necessarily true, you can meditate anywhere all the time. You can meditate while driving in traffic, but really just being able to kind of be mindful of your breath,
Mhm.
what you can do anywhere at any time. There's it's got a lot of benefits, but why not do it when you're in, you
Yeah.
know, some of the most stressful moments in your life,
Yeah.
um, and really reap the benefits?
Okay. You talked about how you went through a really dark time, and I know that you suffered from memory and vision impairment. Do you feel like the NFL has created a good retirement aid program, especially for injured players? Because I've talked to a few, and I know that they don't feel like they've gotten the help that they really needed.
Yeah, so um, I do feel like they have a lot of tools and resources in place. I don't quite know yet how to get a lot more of the players to engage with them and utilize and take advantage of those resources. Um, it's a real hot topic because you have the concussions and certain things of that nature that happen that are not injuries you can see or treat necessarily. So you know it's kind of like, well, what else can we do? This is kind of an implied risk of this occupation. So it's kind of hard to hit that target and find what's right for everybody to help them.
Okay.
But they do have resources. I think there could be more, of course. I think there's a retired NFLs, a former NFL like groups all around the country in every state that has a team. So there's a lot of resources we can reach out to and support. Um, but it is very difficult psychologically to deal with the injuries and the stress and honestly the different role that you have to learn how to be in life. Now nobody knows you for being a number anymore or the jersey. Now you have to kind of reinvent yourself and create an identity that's more, I don't know, I guess worldly or realistic.
Yeah. Okay. And my last question for you is knowing everything that you know, especially being in the industry for the past 12 years, knowing what you know about injuries, everything, especially how you're not a player anymore. Once you're done, you're kind of just there. Would you still recommend this to upcoming athletes who are their goal is the NFL, or would you recommend something a little smaller?
I wouldn't say smaller. I would say always leave the door open. Um, I don't push my son into football. I never have, and it's not necessarily because of negative, a bad taste in my mouth. It's more or less I want him to find his own path. I don't want him to feel like he has to follow my steps or follow my shoes or fill my shoes and be this NFL player or football player. I want him to find himself and find what he loves. I didn't know I could play professionally until like my junior, senior year in college. So, and I never really aspired to be like in high school. I just was every time it was just, I just want to get a scholarship to a college.
Mm.
Okay, now we got a scholarship to a college. Then it's like, oh, well, maybe, you start making some plays and getting some notoriety, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'm good enough to play at the NFL. But all the way up until my rookie season with the Green Bay Packers, I didn't think that I could play with those guys because those are the guys I watched on TV. These were idols. And it was like, man, I can't, like, how can I be on the same field with these legends? And that kind of washed away once I started playing and trusted myself and actually letting what my body knows to do,
Yeah.
just do it instead of overthinking. It just all came to me, and luckily it was right timing to utilize those skills. I started as a rookie, um, got rookie of the year, Green Bay Packers rookie of the year. So I was very fortunate in how that turned out, and it's a very very small window to get to that level. So I would encourage, yeah, I could encourage, the young men to go play football, and you can try, put
Yeah.
all your effort you can into it, but just understand you need to have something that's a backup. You got to have a plan B, um, because you can get injured, you could not make a team, and I've seen a lot of great players, much better than me, not make a team and just end up kind of washing out of the league because it's just a matter of timing. Maybe they have a lot of that guys at that position and that team's not for you. So then, it's
Yeah.
very fortuitous situation, and you got to be ready to take advantage of them, of all the situations that may arise. But you always got to have that plan B of what, okay, I'm done playing football or trying out or whatever. What am I going to do now? You know, how do I, you know, take care of myself and my family?
Okay. That was really insightful, and I completely agree. That was everything I have for you. So thank you. I really hope after your 12 years you have a phenomenal retirement. I will be living it up right now, I swear. So enjoy it as much as you can. And thank you
I
for,
will. I will. And good luck in the future. I hope this was helpful. And
yes.
yeah, good luck. And hopefully I'll see you on the TV